The camera is tripping, but we don't need the camera. All we need is the screen. Man, this is about to be good. We're about to take you on a ride. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to take you on a ride here. Throughout the balanced universe. I'm about to break the whole story down step by step, piece by piece. So all you cats out there that want to get it, we're about to give it to you raw. I guarantee you, you never heard it told like this before. We guarantee you this. Get him in here. I'm getting that chat pulled up now, man. We're about to get taken off. We got 65. Hey, look, I was wondering why the young elder was also. Hey, young elder that read like 5 books in the last couple of days, man. Some of them were read in audio form. That's how they had them in audio form, so we was able to go through them real fast. Some of the stuff we read over again. Get everything put together for you. You remember I had a tape called the Big Bang tape, right? And they took that tape down. So we got that tape. We're going to redo that tape right now. It's part 1 to the Chronicles of the Anunnakis. We're going to break down who's who. Who was whose son. Who did what. YouTube, we're going to keep it clean, man. We know the rules now. We know the rules. Y'all give the game. Get them in the building. We're about to take off. If you want to show your brother some love, we dropped the Cash App in the pen. We still got the 8 books by the young elder for $45 donation to the Cash App. Leave your emails in the link. We'll send you all 8 books in PDF form by the young elder. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe button. All right, so it all starts with the Big Bang. This is we're gonna work it. It's probably gonna be about a couple series to this tape because we got to break down the whole story, starting back with the Big Bang when time began, 76 trillion years ago. Okay. The universe, time before time, all things existed on a microcosmic level inside a dot. Inside the dot. Oh yeah, hey, Cherry Bay, just stay tuned. You don't want to miss this series here. We're gonna be running them in the hour segments. So we're gonna do an hour right here. Then we'll cut to a 5 or 10 minute break, come back, do an hour, another one. Then if we feel like it again, we'll cut to 15-minute break, do 3 of them tonight. Then we'll do probably 3 of them tomorrow, maybe even 4. Then the next day till we get all these done. I got the whole package, almost the whole package folder, probably like about 6 tapes already, like slides done. So we're gonna be going pretty fast here. So you might want to keep up. All right, so we start at a dot. This dot is similar to an atom. An atom. All right, let's look at this atom. These atoms are universes within themselves. See how your solar system, you got a sun in the middle, your planets rotating around it. Your planets will be like electrons and protons in an atom, your solar system, on a microcosmic level, right? If you look at an atom has a nucleus, then it has protons and electrons rotating around it, just like your solar system, just like cells in the body on a microcosmic level have a nucleus, and then they have several different components rotating around it. Everything is in a spiral motion. The universe is in a spiral motion. But the universe start out, this is this true study. Hey, look, I'm gonna break it down, Just King. The universe start on a microcosmic level. You start on a microcosmic level. In your father's, we got to keep it clean. In your father's, so hey, we might say certain things that might sound funny, but we ain't trying to be funny. We got to say it a certain way so that, we don't get in trouble with YouTube. So in your father's two pair, you start out on a microcosmic level. We're going to break all that down. Right? And you shout out 7 million and 7 million, almost 8 million of you in one little small microcosmic world. Goes into the mother's microcosmic world, into the egg. And maybe one of you make it, sometimes two, where they're twins birth. We're going to get into all that. But we're just getting you into the microcosmic, the dot. Right? The dot. I don't know what the heck this is on this side. Hold on, let me get that. Okay. Because that's bothering me right there. I don't know how that get there. It just... Okay, hold up, man. Let's see what we got. All right, so if you look at this potassium, all right, if you look at potassium, it has the nucleus in the center. Then it has electrons and protons rotating around it. This would be your sun, and these would be the planets and moons. Like say you got your Earth, and then you got a moon, and then your other planets got moons. So it's just like a potassium on an atomic level, on a microscopic level. This would be similar to your solar system. We just want to get that in your head on the microcosmic level that they like they told you on Man in Black, the galaxy is on Orion's belt. And then they come to find out the galaxy was on a small chain, and it was a huge galaxy once they were able to look into it. The microcosmic. So all the during the inside of the dot, all of these micros, some of them evolved over time, but different microorganisms existed inside of the dot. This is giving you an example, and we got more tapes coming out on the Patreon. We're gonna be talking about the weaponized fungi. They got the new weaponized fungi coming out. We can't talk too much on it on here, but we're gonna put that out too, right? But we start out on all these are microcosmic beings that are living organisms on a microcosmic level, right? You have cells, like we told you. The cell has a nucleus, the cell is round. I don't know where these flat earth people come from, but we'll get on them in a minute. Yeah. We're gonna talk about all that. The all makes all that. We're gonna get down to all that. And like I say, we're gonna have my Bible guys. Y'all want to stick on this too, because this gonna tie you in to give you a better understanding of the Bible. All right, and the gods and them of the Bible and what they was up to. Right, and that they were doing everything you doing now and some. Ain't nothing new under the sun. We're gonna prove that to you. Right, but you had the cell membrane. Right, you got the 3 parts inside the cell, the main 3 parts. Mitochondrial DNA really supposed to be right here. It's supposed to be the nucleus, mitochondria, and the cell membrane really is the main 3 parts, because the mitochondria is the code that's written. So you got these different microcosmic beings on a microcosmic level, right? Plant, algae, living organisms, living beings. If you look under the microscope, some of these beings got eyes. Some of them got 15 eyes. Some of them will creep you out if you really looked under the microscope and saw what they really look like in the microcosmic world, though. Right? If you ain't got the holy tablets, like we say, Bible talk about it in the holy tablets. He call them an intelligent life form. He goes into that on page 70, right around page 69, page 70. We're going to have the holy tablets in the links. And keep in mind, these series that we're doing is going to help pretty much the Holy Tablets and the synopsis and with the upgrades to the storyline. Because we went and took all the doctrines, all the information that they got on the Anunnakis, and we combined all the information and then comparative studies based off the information that the master teacher gave us. So we got all the Zechariah Stitcher collection. We got the books on different books on Inanna. We got the books on we showed them to you, some of them on the last class. Right? So we connect. So this information is a combination of all what Zechariah Stitcher said, what Baba said, and about 10 or 15 other scholars that studied the Samaritan doctrine in connection with the Bible and several other documents. So we just want to make that clear too for the references. Right? We maybe have some of the references, books inside of the slides that we'll show you that we got the information from. Right? So we took the whole puzzle and put it together for you. So intelligent life forms, right? These intelligent life forms, DNA strand, these intelligent life forms, these gases, these molecules come together to create your DNA. Your DNA is a combination of all these different types of molecules and elements being put together, a formula. Your DNA is a formula to create you, right? On a microscopic level inside of the mitochondrial DNA, right? We are divine light beings born out of the grandmother's cosmos, the all, right? So we start out, hey, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna try to run through this first part, right? Like I said, we're gonna run an hour long on this one, and then part two, we'll go to the second half. So it all starts in the dot, right? The universe starts in the dot before the Big Bang. Triple darkness, triple blackness. Like when you in your mother's womb, like we just showed you, triple blackness, triple darkness. And it really is triple dark because darkness is really still a form of light. It's a shadow, which is a lesser form of light. Like we just want to make that clear. This dot chose to go within. Hold up. Inside of this dot, okay, let me break this down too. Inside of this dot existed the 9 ether gases, right? And they got 2 of them on here, which is hydrogen and oxygen. They really part of the noble gases as well, but they only put these 7 on here. These gases existed as one gas inside of the dot called 9 ether gases. A lot of y'all are familiar with this. Master teacher already put it out a long time ago. All this information, a lot of it is broke down in the Holy Tablets, right? The 9 ether gases that existed inside the dot as one gas, they began to slow down in vibration where they began to individualize and become down to the 8th dimension where they began to separate from each other. Separation is the 8th dimension, individuality. That frequency begins to slow down in the 7th dimension and become thought. Thought slows down and cools off, becomes light in the 6th dimension at 888 terahertz, really at 900 terahertz. We got it's 2 highest chakras. We're gonna talk about the 2 highest chakras on this tape. All right, hold up. So you got the 9 ether gases, not the noble gases, right? And they told you about Krypton. Keep in mind about the movie Superman Well, Superman them planet exploded. They took that storyline from the Anunnakis, where Superman planet about to explode. That goes back to the Big Bang, right? But these 9 gases existed as one gas called 9 ether gas, but they broke it down. And we existed inside of that dot as what you call 9 ether beings, gas beings, right? As one family. All of you here listening to the sound of my voice, and everyone that's not, existed before time as a gas, as part of the 9 ether gases. Some of us came in existence later, who are the cooler level beings, 6 ether beings, who came in as we began to cool off after the Big Bang. We're going to get into that too. But we existed as gas beings, 9 ether beings, inside of the dot, inside of the microcosmics. Right? I'm going to work you all the way there. Okay, here's another picture. This would be more of a light body. We didn't gain those we didn't gain a body structure or light body structure until after the Big Bang took place. The Big Bang generated the physical concept. We're gonna break all that down. Okay. Inside of this dot, we live under one huge sun, which we end up naming after. He was the 4th most high. There were three most highs before him, or 3 chiefs is pretty much what it is, a chief of the family before the explosion took place. We lived on a planet called and it was a one huge sun and 19 planets, right? And there were 144,000 different tribes, sound beings, etherical gas beings. Within that nine gases, 9 ether beings, it was 144 tribes. And we lived on, we populated this 19 different planets inside of this dot. And the planet was called And that's why you got this sound, the sound, because that sound is the sound that the planet that we lived on before it exploded. The Big Bang theory. We're about to get into it. So that planet that before our sun, because what they were trying to do is they were trying to develop, trying to extract the nucleus from this center of this sun, and it caused the problem, and it caused the explosion. Right? But get into it. So that is the sound of the universe. That's the glue. It's the glue that holds the universe together, that sound. Right? From this explosion. I'm about to get more into it here in just a second. Okay? So that's another picture of how the explosions are. It's vibrating like that, right? The universe from the center. Okay. 9 ether beings, right? We existed as 9 ether beings inside of this dot. The microcosmic level, which was a whole universe within itself. I'm about to get into that. We want to talk about them gas planets, Slick. We're going to get into them gas planets too, Slick, like it all down the line. Okay. We existed as gas beings in the universe, right? Here's another kind of picture of it. Okay, inside of the dot, the Most High that was ruling, his name, and we got these pictures just to give you an idea of what they look, kind of like the idea. Some of the pictures we got that from Bible and the Holy Tablets, and some of the pictures we had to find to fit the idea of what we got going on here. So bear with us. But these are pretty close to what they would look like. Now keep in mind, during the time of Sal and his wife, they didn't have physical bodies. They were gas fire beings. You had amber light beings, You had green light beams as they cooled off, but they mostly was burning hot, at the highest frequency, ultraviolet color frequencies down inside of the dot. Sal was the most high, and then with his wife, and they had 2 kids. Actually, they had more than 2 kids. They actually had 3 sons and 3 daughters. Anshaw was one of the sons before the Big Bang took place. Now they began to gain physical bodies after the Big Bang. But Sal was the most high, and they had the name of the son was Sal, according to what Bible said in the Holy Tablets. And they even made out of Anshaw's mother, this is a statue, a solid gold statue that they made of her with a sun disk on her head. You can look it up, right? So it goes way back in ancient Sumerian. I don't know if this kid would have been Anshaw or Anu, or her grandson Anu or Anshaw. I don't know who that kid would have been, you know what I'm saying, that she was holding, but one of these had to be one of her children. And she's the first Big Mama on record. This is the Big Mama chair right here. Look at the chair. Remember that chair with the big background with the sun? And little do you know what that Big Mama chair is all about. Do we got a picture of that Big Mama chair now? You know, the one that Huey P was sitting in? That big part in the back is representation of the sun. When they sit in that chair, that big part in the back. Matter of fact, let's see if we pull one of them chairs up so we can show you what they look like so you get an idea. You remember the big chair that Big Mama had at the house that was weaved? Hold up, I'm typing in Big Mama, hold up. No, the one that Huey P sitting in, the one they used for the Black Panther movie, the one that me and Rod Hayes was showing. Yeah, it's just like the Haru All-Set or the Hathor Haru the first. Because you know it's 2 different Harus. Okay. You got Haru Murdoch's son. We're gonna break all that down, man. You're gonna see what's happening. Okay, let's look at this chair. I'm gonna type in it like this: Black Panther. Hey man, I guarantee you that this what I'm showing you right now. This like here light stuff. Wait till I get to the rest, like the other parts of the tape, man. This is light. What I'm showing you right here is like, all right, here go the chair right here, the Big Mama chair. Hold on, can y'all see it? Yeah, the one with the Black Panther with the spear and joint, right? We're going to show you, but I should have put that chair right next to that chair. I thought I did that. All right, but you know the Big Mama chair, the one Larry Hoover sitting in. Hold up. Let me say that chair. All right, you see the one right here, right? See that chair that this right here, the Big Mama chair. You gonna see the same one, the chair that we showed you in over the Vatican. They got this same type of chair, but it's made out of gold, sitting over the chair on the Pope in the Vatican, which is Inanna's chair. We about to look. You got the Black Panther sitting in that chair, in the movie. I'm gonna say it in there. Let's bring it up next to this so you can see it. I'm gonna bring it up next to this so you can see it. Hey, I guarantee you this class for to be lit, bro. Never. I got over 800 slides up in this joint. When I tell you, it's gonna take a while. I got over 800 slides up in this joint, man. All right. Let me pull Anu's grandmother back up. Hold up. The Big Mama chair. All right, this is what I want to show you. Y'all got the idea already, though. All right, so you see this right here, one of the oldest things that goes back to Anu's grandmother And you see this right here is like a sun disk behind her head. And that's kind of what this, you got the chair right here. Then you got that big thing around it. That's kind of like where it come from. They got it from, this is the first, she the oldest Big Mama. She the oldest Inanna. Inanna is a title like the queen of heaven and earth, right? And she's the oldest Big Mama on record. Right? Pull it up, right? See the chair, right? Yeah, right. Rising Diamond. I say y'all got that. Y'all got the picture. Right? You got the picture on what I'm trying to say. She the oldest Big Mama on record. Anu's grandmother. Okay, where we was. Okay, boom. Why is it doing that? All right, let's get it back up. Let's get back rolling. We get drink water. Hey, I guarantee you this is gonna be lit. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Show us some love, man. Show us some love. All right, so here's the so the dot is moving like this. The planets are moving around the sun real fast like this. The sun began to heat up because they was messing with the nucleus, right? So the 19 planets is moving around fast like this at a high vibration, because keep in mind the universe exists in 3 states. We're about to break that down too. But in the gas state, the molecules begin to rapidly heat up to where they move so fast that they bloom, exploded. Okay. Remember, we told you on the microcosmic level. Remember, the galaxies around on Man in Black was on that cat's neck. The galaxies on Ronnie's neck. So this is a whole galaxy on a microcosmic level. So yeah, let's think about it, man. People think that the Anunnakis were big. So some of the Anunnakis were 7 foot. Some of them were 10 foot tall. Well, not some of the Anunnakis. They were really Anunnakis, the Igigis. They were mixed. We're gonna talk about them too. But just imagine 7 foot tall is not really tall in the universe. Just think about how big the universe is. 7 foot tall is not that tall in the universe. 10 foot tall is not that tall. 20 foot tall is not that tall in the universe. Hell, 20 foot tall is not even that tall on your planet, because your planet is 24,000 miles or something in diameter, in circumference. So just think about, what if you are on a microcosmic level right now, compared to the universe. You really are. Compared to the universe, you only, some of y'all 5, 6 foot, right? 7 foot. If you still on a microcosmic compared to the universe. You on a microcosmic level down there compared to your solar system. Your solar system is 4.6 billion miles out to Pluto. So on what's 7 foot in 4.6 billion miles? Hey, shout out Akita. That's how you say it. I think I'm saying that right. For the super chat. Right? So how tall is 7 foot or 10 foot or 20 foot in 4.6 billion miles, let alone 2,000 light years, let alone 150,000 light years, which is just your galaxy diameter, let alone 26 billion light years, let alone 90 billion light years. How tall is 7 foot in 90 billion light years? So the Anunnakis are not the high power shit like you think. But we're about to get into that. Better break all that down for you. Yeah, we're not black, but we are black. Hey, man. Because the melanin, right? The melanin, man. The melanin is the dark matter in the universe that give us our power. We're about to get into that. So, but we Moors, some Moors, and y'all, it's gonna be some cats that I might want to not call themselves Moors after we drop this series. Once they find out really who the Moors are, they probably not want to get down with the Moors no more after this. They say we're not Indians. Hey, you could be over here in America. You could be classified as Indians. See, one of our master teachers, Taj Sharif Bey, he put out there we're not Indians, but he missing the part about the Moors, the Hindus coming over here from India and the areas over there and mixing in with the people over here, the Almacs. So you could be classified as Indian because they mixed in with you. So you gotta think about that too. That's another story though. Inside of this dot, we knew that the sun was getting ready to explode. So we began constructing on a microcosmic level these huge ships, which we consider huge to us on this microcosmic level. Like, so we started building all these ships. These are the first prototypes of Nubaru before the Nubaru that Anunnaki was riding on. That's actually, the Nubaru started out looking like this, and it actually got upgraded over the times, over the billions and billions of years, as they gained more technology and more knowledge. They upgraded these ships to what you call a Nubaru. But at first, we called them Nimbare. Right? Nimbare. These huge planetary temporary homes that we lived on, that we started building a whole bunch of these for all the families, the 144,000 families, right? 9 different tribes. And we're going to break down the tribes for you too, the 9 tribes, the 144,000 families that were living on inside of the dot before it exploded. So we started making these big old ships before the sun exploded. And the plan was, the pretty much is the story of Superman. Go watch the Superman story when Krypton blew up. Right? When Krypton blew up, they showed Superman them being put into some capsules or things that get sent out from this from their star or their planet before it exploded. What it's saying, they took their storyline from the Big Bang when we, the 9 ether beings, who began to slow down our vibration, then created these huge vibration ships, and boom. Before the Big Bang, we had all loaded up. We knew when the sun was going to explode. So before it exploded, we took off in these ships in the boundless universe, into the blank universe, right? And we broke out of the dot, right? Boom. This is when time starts. This was when the time begins right here. Because keep in mind, time is dealing with events. And events, when this explosion happened, it caused it started the event. The event is the bang. Right? The event is the bang. And then from this event, it caused chain reactions, which means one event stimulates the next. One event stimulates the next. And we'll get into questions later. We'll get into questions in a minute because we got to cram all this Big Bang part into 1 hour, and then we'll go to we're gonna probably try to get 2 classes out on you tonight, at least 3. But it's gonna be a long series right here. It's gonna be a long series breaking all this down, but we're gonna break the whole storyline down. All the children, what they were doing, how Ninurtu were moving that stuff, and you building bombs, and we're gonna get into all that. Right, we got it all laid out. Right, we got like 800 slides up in this joint. This joint is fat. This joint is fat, and we're gonna get to the head cracking joint in a minute. The head cracking stuff in a minute. But this is when time begins. One event stimulates the next. Time is calculated by light and events to keep record, the record keeping of those events. So the explosion, once the explosion took place, boom. This started a chain reaction, creating time, and we got it down at 76 trillion years ago when this happened. When they only show you the Big Bang and they show you it going one way, but it didn't go just one way. It went several different ways. Like when an explosion take place, it goes like it explodes like a ball. Boom, right? It went out this way, this way, this way. The universe began to expand in all directions. Within that circle, within that dot, the universe began to expand. Boom. Time starts. We call time on when the explosion, at the start of the point of the explosion. Okay. This is the chain. This is what you call the universe is governed by a thing called chain reaction. This is how the universe creates itself on top of itself. Right. So when that one bang happened, boom, it's like one cell, like like say you got a virus or something in your body. It gets one cell, that one cell pause and then makes two cells pause, and them two cells make four cells, and so on and so on. So this chain reaction created another dot, and another dot, and another dot, and another dot, and another dot. These way Baba put it is that these 19 planets hurled off and became 19 galaxies, right? In the holy talents, right? So it's a chain reaction. Once the one explosion happened, boom, created two. Two created four. Four created 8. 8 created 16. 16 created 32. And thus you start the binary code. The universe started out as a binary code. Right? You know, binary code got ones. It goes 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, right? In the binary code. So all my computer guys know what's going on. So the chain reaction, one event stimulates the next. One creates 2, 2 creates 4, 4 creates 8. So the first generation create 1, 2, like a new Sal and his wife created Anshaw and Keyshaw. Boom, they created a new, his sisters, he got a couple of brothers, we're gonna get into that too though. But you see, this is the second generation, the third generation. So this is what the universe is governed by. Chain reaction. One event stimulates the next. So we hope you got that part down, right? Let's see where we at. We got any questions so far? Do we got any questions so far? While I get a drink of water. Binary code. That's what it is. The universe, chain reaction, binary code. This is how the universe is starting to base. The Big Bang causes to happen. And also, Sal and his wife offered to stay behind and go down with the ship, just like in Superman when his mother stayed and his father them stayed. Right? And when they stayed, they got shot. It created an alternate universe to where it caused a split. When that explosion happened, it created several alternate universes. I'm telling you, man. And he ended up coming back later as an ascended being. They father this new form of being called which they termed as ascended beings. We're gonna break that down too. Okay, so we say you got a question. It says, how can I think? How can I think? You think one thing, that one thing stimulates two things, that two things stimulate four things. That's how you're supposed to be thinking. Look, this is how you do. You buy one thing, you flip it, get you 2 of them, flip them 2, get you 4, flip that 4, get you 8, flip that 8, then you going up and up. This is how the universe is governed. This is how you're supposed to be doing in your hustling, in your hustle game, in your life. And when you coming up, this is the law that you follow, the chain reaction. One event stimulates the next. Says Dinka mixed plans will become you water, man. Hey, look, we're gonna get down to the, we already broke all that down, the Dinkas and all that. Go back and get a tape called. We got scroll down and get our tape, go to the playlist and go down to Who's Who, and then watch the African Heritage series 1 through 7. We already break down who the Dinkas are and all them. They really mixed. They really Watusis. They Watusis. Hey, we about to crack heads into his cow. No, hey, we ain't got to the good part yet. We just got to break this down. So the ones and zeros, this is the binary code. The binary code is governed by chain reaction. One event stimulating the next. this is where time begins. Time begins at the bang. Ones and zeros, right? There's no number but one. In the computer language, there's only ones and zeros. And they use those ones and zeros to denote the other numbers and pretty much everything in the computer. We're trying to keep it light as possible. We're trying to crack nobody's heads right now. We're gonna get into the head cracking part in a minute. All right, so you see like a domino effect. This big bang, boom, stimulates one, boom. It's a domino effect. It's a chain reaction. We already did a whole tape on this called a chain reaction. Okay. You light one match, boom, it light all the other matches. The big bang starts here, boom, generates the chain reaction. You see? One event stimulates the next. The first event is the lighting. The first event is the lighting of the first match. Then he'll gotta light the rest of the matches, just like the first match, and then the chain reaction lights the rest of the matches, which is the same thing as the Big Bang in synopsis. Once all of this began to expand, this created your universe from the 0 point. This is the 0 point. If you go to the left, they say it's -1, -2, -3, -4, all the way up to -9. You go to the right, they say +1, +2, +3, and so on. So this created two. Now, once the Big Bang took place, now there's no longer one. This created two sides to the mirror, right? The negative and the positive side, which existed all as one inside of the dot, but now it's separated once the explosion took place. Well, the negative went to the left and the positive went to the right. And then if you go up, you go positive. And then if you go down, you go negative. We're about to break that down into just a chart. Hold on, let's show you. Let's get to that before we go into the dimensions real quick. Hold on, let me show you that real quick, that chart. And we'll come back to this. All right, so the dot starts here at the 0 point. Once the explosion takes place, we showed you it go this way, this way, this way, this way. This created the two sides to the mirror. Now you have where you can go up, you can go to the right, left, and go to -1, and then you can go up to +1. So now this created a space, what they call space and time, or whatever they created the different dimensions. These are all different dimensions. Once that explosion took place and created the dimensions. These are all different dimensions. Third dimension, fourth dimension, 5, all the way up to 9. But then you got more than 9 dimensions. It's really only 9 dimensions, but you got more than 9 dimensions because of the grid that it created once the explosion took place. We don't want to crack no heads too hard, man. We're trying to keep this as simple as possible. But it's hard to do. So yeah, the 0 point. The 0 point is where the explosion take place. And you go upward, outward, what I'm saying, both all ways. So if you go to the left, but to the right, you go to +1. Then if you go up 1, you go to up 1, +1, which give you a dimension right here. If you go over to 2 and go up 1, it gives you another dimension. See, so you got all these you got 9 dimensions on each side of the mirror, the negative and the positive, which they are all really one coming from the 0 point. All this is really one coming from the 0 point from the Big Bang. You see? So that as the explosion take off, boom, boom, you created different realities, create different dimensions. And that's why when they show you, when Neo go into that room, when he finally get to the end, he go meet the dude, the creator of the Matrix, he walk in there and there's a whole bunch of TV screens. And each TV screen has got a different reality. This is what they showing you right here. Okay? Yeah, Woo Wop. Freedom Master Teacher, Malachi Z York. We Sabians, we running the game with the knowledge. We the gods. We the return of the gods. We the supreme beings, the Sabians, supreme beings. We got the knowledge, the right knowledge, and we're gonna bring it out. Hey, young L, just, hey, I'm just like you know, I'm a regular nigga though, but I am a Sabine though. So you know, I am a Sabine. Niggas know something about the Waffy brother. Oh, he's a Sabian. Hey man, ain't no fight, ain't no argument no more, man. We Sabians, we New Wapians, we brothers, right? We Sabians, we royal though. And that's why we bringing this type of level of information right now. Right? So we hope you got that part, the 0 point. So we'll come back to that part. We'll come back to that. We'll get to that part. But I just want to give you an idea of what happened. Okay, let's go back right. I think we was right here. So I can give you, so when you're looking at this grid, so now when you look at this grid of the universe expanding, think about this as being the 0 point, and that this is the -1 on this side, +1 on this side, and that all these different realities and grids within that one universe starting out from the Big Bang. Right? From 1 point, the 0 point. I just wanted to make that clear so you can see it. They also, if you fly on a plane, they also have in a target, when you got a target in your gun and all that, that's all based on, you got to have that gun zeroed out to hit the target. You got to have your stuff zeroed out. Your guns, your scopes. This is like a scope. Your scope's got to be zeroed out in order to hit the target. All right, now, if you got it 2 off to the left, it's going to hit to the left. It's not going to hit the target. So that create, when the Big Bang happened, that made it to where you gotta adjust things to the 0 point. But a lot of people are going on the negative side. They had you got this also, this same type of realities set place in the body, where you got a negative side of the body and a positive side of the body, a magnetic force field around you. The universe has its own magnetic force field coming from the Big Bang, the 0 point. Okay, so we're just gonna have to go and break that down. All right, so this dot, while the explosion, all this take, now keep in mind, all these dimensions are being created simultaneously as the explosion takes place. The dot becomes a straight line, boom, during the explosion. During the explosion, the dot goes up, so you create length. Then it goes up at the same time, simultaneously, creating height. As it expands out, create width, the third dimension. Okay, height, width, and length, the third dimensions. Fourth dimension, creating the volume, that which sits in the middle of the space, the area, what they call in space, but it's no such thing as space, right? Like one of my teachers, Mark Brady teaches, no such thing as space. Space is always field, right? So this is the fourth dimension, volume, the space that fills that three-dimensional space once it becomes that. And then once it becomes volume, then this is sped up and put into motion. That volume is sped up and put into motion. And then it becomes the fifth dimension, which is emotion. It's the fourth dimension revolving around itself as part of the chain reaction. And then the sixth dimension is where you form light. Light forms at about around 300 terahertz at the low frequency of the color red. And as it begin to speed up into the sixth dimension, into one of its highest frequencies, ultra black, 900 terahertz, or black, what they call a black light, which they use to see blood that's been on a wall for 2 months that you can't see, and they come in with the black light. We'll get into all that too, right? We about to crack heads and twist caps, never have it been made so clear. So these would be like the little squares that we showed you on the grid. Each of these would be like one of those realities that created once the bang explosion happened, creating a volume. The motion of it created the emotions. The fifth dimension, the plane of Malachi. The fourth dimension, the mental plane, the volume, the thought. Then that light sped up to the seventh dimension and created thought. Then it speds up and begins to speed up faster and begins to start coming together. And then in the 9th dimension, it goes back to the dot and becomes the 9 ether gas again. But time started when the dot exploded and created length, then height, then width. These are different events stimulating, starting the time 76 trillion years ago. Right? You said, who go to school? Talking about me, Ali Baba, Haru? Talking about where did I go to school at? And who you talking about? Say, if you can't spell the read English. Oh, yeah, baby. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat, bro. Sweat. About to crack your head, twist your cap. All right, so we just broke down the dimensions. That's another slide on it, breaking it down, giving Einstein's theory on it, 3 dimensions. All right, so from that bang, boom, as things begin to expand off in the negative 270 degrees universe, because keep in mind, we were vibrating at a high speed inside of that dot. We was burning at a high speed, but once the universe began to expand, things began to cool off as they hurled off into the universe. These huge planets. Now, keep in mind, I had to break down the conception of the dot. That to you, when I'm saying dot, you might think of it as a small dot, and Earth could be a dot in the universe. Your solar system could be a dot in the universe. Your galaxy could be a dot. Well, it really is a dot in the universe. Your universe is a dot which is inside of a big universe, and in that universe is a dot which is inside of that universe. I don't want to go too hard on you. But from that bang, billions of different types of realities was created. And in these realities, different galaxies, billions and trillions of them. The universe has been expanding for quite some time. And we've in between. Baba said it was at 26 billion light years in diameter, this universe on this side. Now I flew, I got in my spaceship one night and flew, and I flew a long time before I came to the end. And it took me like 90 billion years to get to the end of this universe before I went into about a billion year space before I jumped into another reality in the universe. Now there's certain laws that bound us to this universe to where you could drive all the way to one side of the universe and then come back out on the other side of the universe, but into the same universe. Like you go through a vortex, boom, they shoot you back to the other side. Sometimes that happens as well. Hold up. We almost hit an hour. I'm gonna try to get all the Big Bang part out. So because then we're gonna come back on the next part. All right, the universe exists in 3 states. They say 4. Okay. Solid, liquid, and gas. Solid, liquid, and gas. The 9 ether gas, as that gas began to cool off in vibration and the molecules begin to slow down, it turns into a liquid form. As you begin to cool off, it turns into a solid. So and then they said it's plasma, but plasma really is in between state, because you got the pseudo states, which is the states in between as these states transfer. So it's really nine states, but those are the other 6 are pseudo states. These are the main primary states. Like you got a gelatin state, like Jello. Jello is not really solid and it's not really liquid, but it's like in between solid and liquid. You see what I'm saying? Like jelly, like jelly would be considered like a solid and a liquid kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like until you heat it up, then you can if you heat it up or freeze it, it'll determine the speed, the temperature or speed of the molecules within that jelly will determine whether you go to a liquid or solid. And then in between the liquid and solid, you got that the plasma phase, which is a part gas, part liquid. So plasma really falls in as one of the pseudo types of energy. But they say you got different types of plasma. All of it is a gas, but all of it goes back to gas. So you got solid, liquid, and gas. Okay. All right. So if you know about solid, liquid, and gas, you know if you take some a block of ice and you leave it out, and once the heat begins to hit it, the molecules begin to expand and separate and speed up and move faster, then it becomes liquid. If you keep heating this process up, the molecules begin to expand faster, and then it turns into evaporates into a gas. It evaporates into a gas. Right? Close that door back for me. So this is the process of speeding and slowing down molecules. That's all it is. The process of the molecules are jammed tight, packed together in the solid, in the gas and the water or liquid, they're starting to speed up a little bit faster. In the gas, they're speeding extremely fast, which is why, like I told you, in the wintertime, during this time right now, you got to add air to your tires. Why? Because the molecules, the air pressure is going down because of the molecules are starting to get closer together. So you lose pressure. Once you add air to those tires, you increase the pressure, thus add more space to it. Now, in the summertime, the molecules are going to expand more, and you're going to gain air in your tires. So that's why you got to let a little air out during the summertime. It's dealing with the movement and vibration and expansion of the molecules. Hey, man, we signed this sun back in the time to speed up your vibration, to get you on a level that but we only here to get our children. Our children will be able to hear this, right? Those who went through the different schools to make it to this point. We're getting you ready to go on the mothership, Nubaru. Right? It's many are called, few are chosen, but a lot of people, their brains can't go this high. A lot of people here are Lulu Amalus. They are not children of the Anunnakis. They are Lulu Amalus. And the Sabines are children of the Anunnaki. So all you Sabines that saying, I'm about to prove it to you. Because Damuzi is Osiris, and Damuzi is Enki's son, youngest son. Well, not his youngest son, because he had human sons like Odafa and Noah. But he is youngest Anunnaki mixed son. Right? Damuzi, who is Osiris, who was married to Ishtar, who is Nanar's son's daughter, Enlil's son. But to get into it, that's coming probably like part 2 or 3. I mean, it's probably gonna be like part 3 or 4 when we get into that part. But we're just breaking down the beginning of it, the Big Bang part, right? And we're keeping it clean, YouTube. So, like you got metals, heavy metals. That's all solids, right? Then you got liquids. You got liquid forms like water, different liquid forms that the molecules are expanding more. You got the gas state. We already broke that down. All right, solid, liquid, gas. You see in the solid right here. Let's blow it up a little bit. All right, so you see in a solid right here, the molecules are jammed tight, packed together. So the vibration is a lot slower. When you slow the vibration down of an object, it becomes solid. So we are just beings. We are gas beings whose vibration slowed down to the solid, right? Well, we made our physical body now to our molecule. Well, we are made up of a bunch of elements and molecules that are jammed tight, packed together, right? Now, once you begin to speed your vibration up, the molecules begin to move faster and separate into the liquid. So you got what you call like on Terminator, where they got the liquid man. They already got this technology already. The government got this technology. The Anunnakis had it too, way before they had it. So they able to speed up their molecules. They got what they call an invisible belt, where they can go into the gas state. These Secret Service guys. The liquid, see how the molecules start to speed up and separate, and then in the gas, the molecules begin to separate even faster. And they say in the plasma it move faster, but plasma really is in the rest state or the convergence state of liquid and gas. It's like I told you, jelly would be placed right here. Jelly, a jelly state substance. So you have keep in mind you got negative and positive in the universe. I showed you that when the split happened, the Big Bang will take place in the middle. Separate well, at one point this negative and positive was 1 point, and that's where the source of the energy of the universe is 0 points coming from. But at one point these two are 1, but then they separated. Boom, created. Now you got a negative and a positive side, like I showed you on the graph. All right, here's a whole bunch of them in a solid jam tight packed together, and it's more the negatives is more solids. The negatives is more bigger than the positives, because in a solid you get negative, you're going to the negative side of the mirror, and you slowing down in vibration, and you're becoming more solid. Like if you study the element chart, it starts with hydrogen, and as it works its way down, which is on the negative side, because really hydrogen to us is -1. To the Anunnakis, hydrogen is -1. And it begins to slow down as you the molecules begin to slow down and jam tight back together, creating heavier elements, to where you get all the way down to gold, iridium, and titanium. They got titanium get more jam tighter, to where that's why titanium is so strong, because of the negative ions that's all jam tight packed together within them. Hey, everybody hit that like button, man. We got 300 and some people up in this joint. Right here we go, another show you the negative and positive ions. Right, the positive ions inside of the nucleus, the negative ions. So it's a positive got 1 negative electron, and the negative got 3 electrons around it. You see that? This is damaged hair. They saying this is healthy hair with the negative ions. Check it out. All right, so this is how it's supposed to look in your body with the charges. And like I told y'all about the foot bath machine, it actually helped rearrange these. The foot bath, the ionic foot bath, actually helped rearrange these particles inside of your body. This is how it look when it's bad. It's just really all out of order. This is how it look when they're supposed to be in order. It's supposed to be negative, positive, like this right here. It's supposed to be positive, positive, like this, and I'm like this. See how it's going like this? And the negative is supposed to be like this. And they're supposed to be working like a battery. Like you put like a battery system. It's like a battery. Your human body is like a battery. Right? We already brought that out, right? All right, so like I said, so when that explosion happened, it shot us down dimensions because it started to cool us off. Shot us down through the vortex to the 6th dimension. And once we got to the 6th dimension, we got to about 888 terahertz. Really, that's when time started at 888 terahertz. Time start right there with the bang. But keep in mind, all this is happening simultaneously as an explosion. Boom. Then once we got into the color frequency, starting at 800 terahertz in the 6th dimension, boom, then we began to get light bodies. And then as we slow down and cool off more in vibration, we began to get physical bodies. After we come down to the 4th dimension, which is the mental plane, down to the 3rd dimension, which is the physical plane. All dimensions are really physical because one dimension stimulates the next. Like the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd make up the 4th. Those 4 dimensions make up the 5th. Those 5 dimensions make up the 6th. Those 6 dimensions make up the 7th, and so on and so on and so on. So as we slowed down in vibration due to the Big Bang, we began to hurl off into space, and we became slower in vibration. Thus, we get into start coming into the color frequency of the 6th dimension from the 7th dimension, and we get into color, and then boom, we start to get frequencies. We start to get these different frequencies where we hit and get a light body, and then we get to slow down even more, just so on and so on. All this is gonna lead up into the Anunnaki stuff. This right here, we got to show you this first. This right here leads you up to that part, right? So there's 2 sides to the mirror, like we told you, the negative side and the positive side. Once the Big Bang took place, it created the other sides to the mirror, right? So we actually gonna do a tape on mirror work So you know, so people was asking about, hey man, do a tape on what the mirror work is. We're gonna do a tape, but the only reason we wasn't gonna do a tape on it because we didn't want nobody to go trying it out at home, and we be the reason they listened to us and they got stuck in the mirror. Because we not, hey, I don't do mirror work. You got like, it's people that sit there that's extreme, they really practice it, but you can't have no fear on you when you're doing that mirror work. We'll talk about that on another class though. But now you got the negative side where this guy's pointing at this guy and this guy pointing at this guy. So there's two sides. It created the double reality, the alternate reality, the Big Bang. Then we got trapped on this side. That's right, Cherry Bay. Shout out Cherry Bay. Hey, that's right. We got trapped on this side after that bang took place. So we had we had an hour now. I think we had the last slide as far as this particular segment. No, we ain't nowhere. I gotta drop this part. I gotta drop this part too. I gotta finish. Let me go and finish it up. Because I got like 800 slides in here, but the Big Bang is the first part. Then we'll go to part 2, which would be like the second half to where we start out the family journey, or when we started out in Detroit. Okay, so you got a musical scale. We already broke a lot of this stuff down in the Ascension Manual, right? So you got a musical scale that goes do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, but that's not really how the original one went. They added another do. That do wasn't there. I'm gonna show you how it really supposed to go. It's actually 9 sounds. They cut us out. They cut 2 sounds out to lower our vibration down. And they took one of the sounds off and added a do. So this is how it's supposed to look. It's supposed to start do, which is like those, and each of these sounds represent the 9 tribes that existed from the beginning, the 9 tribes, right? And the 144 tribes that exist within these 9 tribes. Check this out. So one of the tribes is the does, you know, as in John Doe and Jane Doe, those who nobody seemed to know, right? And then you got the rays, right? As in Atun Ray, or Amun Ray, or you got other ones like Haru, Haru or Moon Ray, these different rays. Rays is another way of saying it. Ray, how we say it as how some of us Sabians do it. Then you got me's, the me's, me, mine, me, mine, all mine, right? All mine. Yeah, the selfish guys. And then you got so, like, you got it? All right, so I don't care, so. And the souls are actually, the souls beings, good beings, because they dealing with the green heart chakra. Then you got the people that's in la world, them Lulu Amalu level guys. La. What's going on in the world without no cares. Then you got the Phi, the T's, as in Tahuti, right? Then you got who real name was Ningazita. We're gonna get into that, man. We're gonna get into his name before he became called Tahuti was Ningazita, who is one of Inky's sons, Murdoch's brother. Okay. Then you got the ands. See, the ones they took off, they took the and off and the key off, and they just put do right here. So they got you saying do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and they took the and the key. See, it really goes key, and, ti, fa, la, sol, mi, re, do. And it's all these represents a tribe, a sound. Remember, I told you we all sound, nigga, coming from the drum. Hidden information coming out the sun. We all sound, nigga, coming out the drum. Before I count the money, lick my thumb. They say we wear make it, they looking dumb. Right? So let's to that track I put out. So the 144,000 sound frequencies all was one sound at one point called If you individualize this 144 frequencies within that one frequency that's combined to make that you can break those individual sounds down to sounds. The original piano that Tahuti made, Ningazita, had 144 keys. Then they cut it down to 84 keys. Then they cut it down shorter than that. Then they cut it down to where you only got these short little bitty keyboards, baby mini size keyboards, right? because they synthesized all the sounds. Okay. Okay, we just showed you the grid. Just to go back over this just a little bit for the Big Bang starts right here at the 0 point and begins to expand out, creating all these realities. -1 on this side, +1, and you can go to -1, then you can go up 1, and you go to -1, +1, right? -1, +1, and you that rebalance into this particular dimension, a particular area right here. And this is how we created maps. This is how we using this scale is how we build buildings and everything. The universe is based off of this grid. Yeah, and key, right? Yeah, that's you can say because the first Anu, his name was Key. His son name was An. And they were different tribes of sound. These were the 9 sounds, sounds. And they took those 2 sounds off because when they alter, it happens when they alter the language, when Enlil and them came down and confused the tongues and alter the language so they can descend us and make us lose some of our vibration by taking the and and the key off. Right? Okay. Sound is key, right? Amaru. Oh, it was what we got here. Okay, and that wraps up this first part. So we're gonna take about we're gonna come back at 8 o'clock for part 2. We're gonna come back at for part 2, man. Like I say, it's gonna probably be 10. I got like 800 slides in this dang folder to do these series, so it's probably gonna be like 10 tapes to this series. But I guarantee you, this is about to get good. When I get to the storyline of a new star birthing kids. And I got all the pictures and everything lined up to show you the storyline. And the story never have it been made so clear. Now, when you read the Bible, when I get doing this whole series, when you read the Bible, the holy tablets, Zechariah stitching books, any books, you're gonna be able. It's gonna be vivid to you when you read it. When I break all this stuff down. So we'll be back, man, at about 8 o'clock, maybe a little bit before 8, for the next installment. So peace and love and harmony. Hotep, shalom aleichem, assalamu alaikum. Right? Ashug, divine love throughout the boundless universe to all. Waduk.